I'm Ben.
And I'm Leah.
This is our Combi, or otherwise known as a VW bus. This is our home, our adventure-mobile and freedom vessel, and this is where we live and have been living for the past 4.5 years since we initially bought it in Chile in South America. We've been driving it up and we are now in Seward, Alaska, enjoying the glorious sunshine, which seems so rare these days, but it's absolutely beautiful right now. We're going to give you a bit of a tour of our home and just let you know some of the mods that we've been doing and how we can actually live in this tiny vehicle, because it's a heck of a lot smaller than an RV, but somehow we make it work, right? And not just with the two of us. Our project on this journey has been to pick up random strangers along the way. So we've had over 100 people living in this VW bus with us. The first night Leah slept in the Combi. Do you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, the first night we slept in the Combi with 6 people, so it was my introduction to Combi life, and I fell in love with it somehow.
And she's still here like 2 years later. 6 people inside that Combi sleeping, believe me. It was a horrific night. But let's have a little look at the wonder beast that we call Capito. You have probably seen a VW bus before. It looks like a 70s bus, right? It is not a 70s bus. This is actually a 1992, which is kind of unbelievable. It's made up with a bunch of different parts. In South America in 92, they just took all of the leftover bits from all the Volkswagens. So our doors here are from the 50s. Our back windows, which you'll see in a minute, are from, I think, the 60s, pre-67. Like the front lights here are all 70s. So it's a real kind of mongrel, basically, and that's kind of how it got here as well, because we've made so many repairs on the road. It's been kind of patched up and thrown back together 100 million times. I swear I can't count them on all my fingers and toes. You see that we've got the Chilean plates here, so it's proof that we're actually telling the truth. We did drag this or push this mostly somehow from South America. The cockpit, the driver's cockpit, you'll note here that we've got 2 fire extinguishers. The reason is for that is that we're a little bit fire paranoid after we had a fire just recently in the Combi. The solar panel basically became activated over winter and melted our lithium battery, which caused a fire. The bed and sofa to burn, all the wood to burn. It was a horrific mess, wasn't it?
It was. Luckily it was just fire damage, smoke damage, sorry, but didn't do much damage in the car at all.
It says empty. That's not good. We've got to back up. Maybe we should get 3 fire extinguishers. Seriously, I'm so fire paranoid. Usually in these kind of vehicles, they're famous or infamous for having fire in the engine compartment.
The inside of the car.
This is where it all happens. This is the most comfy seat in the house, usually, because there's a lot of people in the back. It's a really simple vehicle, the old VW bus. They're not the best overlanding vehicles, but they just bring a smile to every face that you encounter on the road, and for that reason we absolutely love our little Combi. Everybody smiles at us. Like, I kind of feel like they're smiling at me, but they're smiling at the vehicle, I know that. But yeah, we love our little car. The important thing to note is the oil pressure. We installed that afterwards to give us an idea of how the engine is performing. We've dragged it over the Andes Mountains, I think 7 times, which was quite an effort. And that little device there told us how close we were to blowing up another engine. 11 times I've had the engine out of this thing and rebuilt, mainly because the parts have been really hard to find. The mechanics haven't been very good in remote areas, so yeah, we've really kind of struggled to get up to Alaska, and that's why we're really appreciating being here at the moment. Our fuel gauge stopped working a little while back, so we've had a second fuel gauge installed, which doesn't actually work. When it says 0, it means that the tank is full, and as it gets empty it rises to a quarter tank. So anywhere near a quarter tank and we need to pull over and get gas. That's our Combi. We've got these runners on the side here, which in the hotter countries people have been using as our air conditioning, because it gets so hot in the car when you're driving these long roads, and we drive very slowly, that people tend to hang on the outside of the vehicle. So we had these installed all the way around.
Ben's been too weak to surf in Alaska at the moment. You will though.
I've got 2 wetsuits.
2 wetsuits on.
Both of them with holes, so I will get in the water at some point. Got 2 surfboards because we give a lot of surf lessons to the people that come in the bus. One learner there, and something a little bit more nimble for me in the bigger waves down in Peru and Mexico.
Are we going to talk about the engine, the infamous
No,
engine?
can we just skip past this part of the car?
This is my favourite part of the car.
No, you don't need to open that. Come on.
This is where Ben spends most of his time, with his head in the engine or underneath the car.
I don't actually live in the car. I live in this compartment here, nursing the little engine. If you'd have seen this a week ago, it was absolutely covered, saturated in oil. We had a bad oil leak. It was just coming out of everything, spinning around on the pulley here and flying up. Now, one of the things that drew me towards the bus in South America when I was looking for a vehicle, they didn't really have any RVs down there, so I couldn't find anything more comfortable. But the bus presented itself, and I've been told that the engines were really easy to work on. I wasn't told that you need to work on them all the time. So I don't know whether it's, swings and roundabouts. It is pretty easy to work on. I now know how to rip that thing apart and put it back together with my eyes closed, which is reassuring because having such a simple motor when we're so far remote and off the beaten track means that I can pretty much fix any problem that we encounter, right?
Yeah.
This motor is actually from a Beetle in Mexico, a late model 2001 Beetle. It's not your standard air-cooled engine. It is still air-cooled, but believe it or not, this little beast has a computer that controls the fuel injection, which astonishes me. Still manages to misbehave. We have 2 batteries installed here and a further deep cell battery. That's the main starting battery. This is a deep cell 100 amp, and we have another 100 amp deep cell battery. We don't need all that power. We don't have a fridge, as you'll see the inside in a minute, but we do a heck of a lot of video editing for our YouTube channel, and so we really need those amp hours to charge the cameras and the batteries and the microphones and all that jazz. Can we step away from this place now? Because
Bad memories.
Bad memories, yeah.
And we have our shower, which we haven't been using in Alaska at all because it's been too cold.
Yeah, solar shower.
But in the warmer climates, it is a lifesaver. So we use this for showering, we use it for rinsing dishes. What else do we use it for?
Washing dogs.
Washing dogs.
Recycling baby wipes. No, I'm just kidding. We don't do that. You throw them away. Come on. That pressurizes the shower. It's basically a bicycle pump.
Though. It used to work.
It used to work.
Bicycle pump did.
It had a little air valve on the top of this road shower. It's actually really cool, this road shower, because not only does it get hot when the sun's out, you can also pressurize it. Only holds about 6 gallons of water, but that's enough to see us a few days. We're pretty conservative with the water. So that's been a real little treat that we've had, that we've added to the Combi.
And our trolley for extra storage.
That mostly has camping gear in there. We offer free accommodation to the people that we pick up on the side of the road. So if they don't have a tent or hammock or something, we have, I think, 5 hammocks, 2 tents, 3 tents. I don't know, I lose count.
Ben has a basketball in there for some reason.
I gave the basketball away.
Did you? It's not in there anymore.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
gave the basketball
Extra
away.
room.
Lastly, on the roof, we have our solar panel. It's just a single solar panel at the moment, but we will be expanding the capacity because it's only 100 watts and we could do with a few more panels, I think, to enable us to fully work off grid 100% of the time. Take it away into the house.
Our tiny, tiny home. This is the kitchen. Very compact. This is our food storage and our kitchen. It's very messy at the moment. I apologise.
We just have a 2-burner stove. That's it. No oven, unfortunately.
No fridge, no oven. We just recently got a cool box to hold our fish that we've been catching, but usually we don't have anything, do we?
Yeah.
Live without it.
When we stepped into Chris and G's RV before, we had envy straight away. You see the space they have?
Yeah. They have a bathroom, a toilet,
I know.
a sink and a shower.
There's a reason we film a lot of stuff inside the car with a GoPro, because to make it look a little bit bigger, but you wouldn't need to do that. You've got plenty of space.
So everything in here has at least 2 uses, at least. Like our drum here, it can be a drum or a laundry basket.
Yeah, that's our Peruvian cajon. It's a box drum. Absolutely love that thing. It's a seat as well. A seat
and a table.
A seat, a table, a drum, and a laundry basket.
This is just extra storage.
One of our batteries lives in there. We have a few more hammocks. This is our library. I don't know what you call the place where you keep bottles of stuff.
Shower.
This is all of our shower stuff. This is clothing for 2 to 3 people. Just currently 2 people. It's not a lot of space. We Yeah, we really don't have a lot of space, to be honest. But, you know, we make it work. The great thing about having a small form factor camper compared to like a big, like Class A motorhome, for example, is that we can get, you know, to places like this now, like a small riverside camp. It's free living, you know, we're living off grid and having an awesome time. So the sacrifices we make with not having those comforts in a bigger vehicle is made up for by having the freedom of being able to go to like more places.
You need to make the bed, you need to take everything, all the storage items out from the back, put it in the front, fold out the bed, move the water bottle. So everything kind of needs to be shifted and moved around just to make the bed work.
It is a bit of a shuffle. We usually, when we pick up hitchhikers, we have all of their backpacks in the back here. So this is absolutely chock-a-block with other people's equipment. And then every night we move all of that into the front seat and kind of like build up the front and make a little space for a little Alaskita here to sit and sleep. Is a bit of a pain. But yeah, to get, basically like, we're really good at moving together. Like we'll both be in here. We don't have the pop top version of this camper, so we do this like little shuffle. It can jump up a second, and then like this is literally how it plays out. Like what we're doing right now is like we'll just move around each other, and then you know, we get pretty quick at doing it. Our water bottle lives up there, the drum comes out here. This is the 2-burner cooker that we have. You've seen these things before, you know, great little device that lives there. This is our solar charger. This one works much better than our previous one, which we suspect was the reason for our fire, which started under the seat here where we had a battery, completely burnt the entire seat. This one we found in Whitehorse in another bus that we pulled out, and burnt all the wood up here. This all had to be replaced. We varnished everything. You know, that seems like a pain in the butt. What you've got to bear in mind is we're giving this vehicle away in like a matter of weeks. We're making that draw. So we always promised that we would give this bus away to one of our supporters of our project at the end of the journey. And so when it burnt down and we only had like 6-8 weeks left to travel in it, we were like, oh my God, all that work for nothing.
No, but it was worth it. It was worth the trip, fixing it for the trip out to Alaska.
Yeah, we did all that restoration just so that we could experience a summer in Alaska. That's how good it is being up here. For all those people that haven't been here before, it's worth it. So after we've moved all of this, we kind of lift up the storage here. This is where we keep a lot of our camera equipment, like a drone, and we have 2 laptops so we can both be doing editing, and we do a podcast as well. All of our mechanical bits down there, some electrical high-tech stuff. And then this comes out, and then that all goes back, and then somehow, usually Leah does this. Yeah, and then so then we just basically both crawl up like this.
It's a lot more comfy than what it looks.
Honestly, it's actually really comfortable. Sometimes people come up to us, invite us into their house and say, you can sleep in a proper bed, and we're like,
I'll sleep in a comfy bed.
No, it's all right. So we've spent the last 4.5 years filming what it's like to live with the people that we pick up, and what it's like to discover the places that we go to all the way through the Americas from Chile to Alaska. And that's all on our YouTube channel called Combi Life with a K, Kombi. And yeah, that's the life of this combi vehicle. You can follow our adventures and check out what we've been up to.
And after we give away this van, we're also going to get another van, do it up, and go to Europe.
And then across to India. And then we're probably going to get a boat. And Leah wants to do a motorbike trip at some point.
Trip. Never ending.
Basically, we have a whole heck of a lot of adventures that we're going to be sharing with you guys. So check out the channel. It will be worth your time.